Hello, cheapskaters, and welcome to our show tonight. If you are watching now, it's live. If you're watching the replay, tonight is the 23rd of February and 2021. Okay. I'm Kath Armstrong from the Cheapskates Club, and over to my left is Hannah. Hannah is our moderator tonight. She'll be watching the comments and looking for questions. So if you have a question, if you could please remember to put it all in capital letters, all uppercase, so it stands out and Hannah can see it. I'll do my best to answer all your questions at the end of the show. So just in case you need to or you want to miss all this blathering, we'll get started right now, because I want to talk to you about peace of mind accounts. So I'm guessing you've tried to budget, and probably sometimes you've figured out that that budget just isn't going to work because unexpected expenses. If that happens to you, you need a peace of mind account. Now, in Cheapskates world, we often refer to it as a POM, a POM, peace of mind account. And peace of mind accounts help you not only budget for, but plan ahead for those unexpected, regular, but irregular expenses. So what exactly is a peace of mind account? Well, one of the biggest challenges to staying on budget is dealing with all those little extra expenses that seem to pop up. The things like braces for Junior's teeth, or the lawnmower blows up, or new tyres for the car that when you don't have quite enough in the car maintenance fund. Not necessarily an emergency, but an irregular, sometimes unexpected, but almost regular expense. I know that sounds confusing. Now, these things happen to us all, and for the most part, they are the main cause of budget blowouts if you're a dedicated budgeter. The problem is that these expenses fall outside of your regular monthly expenses. So it can be easy to forget to include them in our spending plans and our budgets. A peace of mind account is the place where you plan for and budget for these regular, irregular expenses. Now, it is a separate account, not a part of your regular bill account or your savings account or your emergency fund. It is a separate account. What type of expenses would you include in peace of mind account? The braces for Junior's teeth, obviously. New appliances, so the washing machine, the fridge, the clothes dryer, the dishwasher, the microwave, the vacuum cleaner. New furniture, might be a new lounge suite, carpeting, window furnishings, a new TV or DVD player, a new car. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago and again last week. A new car goes into peace of mind account. Driver's licenses. Yes, these are costly enough to blow the budget, and they are one of those regular, irregular expenses that we need to include in our spending plans and our budgets. 10 years seems like a long time away, but it is much easier to put aside, $1 a week to cover, the cost of your new license than it is to find that money in a lump sum 10 years down the track. We've all been there. We all know how hard it is to come up with money just like that. Not everyone can do it. Now, as I said, these expenses aren't emergencies, and they shouldn't be paid from your emergency fund. But often when they crop up, you don't have the cash to pay for it, So out comes a credit card, you use that and you've gone, crisis averted. But that's not quite right, is it? Because then you're right back on the debt treadmill, paying down debt instead of building savings. If you didn't have the money to pay for it when it happened and had to resort to credit, you're not going to have the money to pay the credit card debt at the end of the month. So when you have a peace of mind account, it allows you to plan and budget and save for these little regular, irregular expenses by putting aside a little each month. Then when you need to replace the lawnmower or the washing machine, the money is there. It's sitting in your peace of mind account and you can just go and replace it. You can confidently get what you need when you need it, secure in the knowledge that you can pay for it in cash. And if you've got cash, remember, cash is king, and haggle for discount without having to resort to putting it on credit. Now, I just want to speak about cash is king because I read an interesting thing this morning. Now, if you've kept up with the news, you'll know that North America has had the weirdest weather, and some parts of Texas were absolutely covered in blizzard-like conditions that they haven't had for 30-odd years. Some areas had snow and they haven't had snow for 30-odd years. What happened was it brought down the water, it brought down the power grid. There was no power. No power means no EFTPOS, no ATM, no shopping if you rely on a card. Remember last week I said it's always good to have a little cash stashed away somewhere? Millions of Americans found out this week that they should have had a little cash stashed somewhere because the only thing that was working was cash. If they needed fuel, they needed cash. If they needed food, they needed cash. They couldn't use their credit or debit cards. So cash is king. I know that it's popular to say no, it's not, but cash is king, folks. Always have a little cash on hand. It doesn't hurt to have a little bit stashed away. Now, we'll get back to the peace of mind account and regular, irregular expenses. To make it easy, I'm going to use Cheapskates Club membership. Now, to renew your membership is $30 a year at the moment, or 57 cents a week, or $2.50 a month if I've done my sums properly, and I think I have. Now, depending on how you run your spending plan, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, you should have a category in that for your membership, for your Cheapskate membership renewal, and regularly put away your 57 cents or your $2.50 so that when it's time to renew, you don't need to worry about where the $30 is going to come from. You've got it already, so you can just pay it. And without a thought, almost, it's done. And your membership will roll on. That's when you have a regular expense that is, is going to happen all the time. So it's regularly every 12 months. So that should be a part of your regular spending plan. It should be just in your budget, in your spending plan, so that when it's due, you can pay it like you do your electricity, your gas, your mortgage, whatever, without having to find the money. You've planned ahead and you have the peace of mind of knowing that you can pay it when it's due. But the same principle applies to all those regular, irregular expenses, like a new washing machine or the braces for Junior's teeth. They're one-offs, or they only happen every now and then And these are the expenses that catch you off guard unless you've planned for them. And then you're scrabbling to find the money quickly, and out comes the credit card, and we're back on that debt wheel again, and we don't want to do that. Because if you do that, you're back to paying off debt. You're back to basically square one, and there goes your peace of mind. So what happens if perhaps out of the blue Murphy comes calling and you need to replace the fridge, or the orthodontist bill doubles because of the genetic overbite that you didn't know Junior had? When you have a peace of mind account, it's not a problem, because you've thought of that, you've thought ahead, you've worked it out. And I'll give you an example. You're sort of expecting the unexpected, and that's what we try to do these days. Be prepared. You've always known that you're going to have to replace the fridge or the washing machine or whatever at some time, and chances are you've always known that the braces are going to be more expensive than you thought they were going to be, because they always are. So you allow for that in your peace of mind account. You plan it, you think about it, and you just automatically budget for it. Becomes a part of your weekly, fortnightly budget. Your peace of mind account is where you deposit the regular amounts to cover the irregular expenses, like replacing the fridge, like the orthodontist bill. When you deposit regularly, it lets the balance grow and build up, like it does when you normally save, so that when the time comes, you can cover the expense without having to resort to thawing out the credit card. I've probably made this a little more complicated than it needs to be, because it's not complicated and it's not hard to use. A peace of mind account is really simple. It's one bank account. You just need to do a little bit of writing down. It gives you a great sense of security and peace of mind I keep talking about, because who wants to be stressed worrying about money and bills? I think it works best if you have a separate account online or at your bank or World Credit Union or whatever. Try and find an account that has very low or even better no fees, that allows you to transfer money between your existing accounts, because that's what you'll be doing. As you're going to be building the balance up, I say this seriously but sort of half tongue in cheek, look for an account that pays interest. I know they're paying piddling amounts at the moment, if you can find one, but you know what? Things might change. Interest rates might go up. So if you find one that pays a bit of interest, great. Once you have your peace of mind account set up, then you need to sit for a few minutes and think about all the regular, irregular expenses that you've had or you could possibly have. Things like car repairs beyond what you have covered in the regular car maintenance category of your budget. For instance, the motor blows up. Now, we might have covered servicing and tyres and stuff, but have we covered motors blow up? That's a big thing. New carpet. Now, we all know that eventually we're going to have to replace floor covering. So new carpet, start saving for it. Replacing the kitchen. Trust me when I say you need to save up. Kitchens and bathrooms are expensive, even small ones, even if you do it cheaply, even if you do it yourself, they are still expensive. You need to save up to replace it. Now, that's not something that you're going to replace every 5 years or something. You should get 20, 25 years out of a kitchen if you look after it. And if you don't choose, bright red with lime green tiles and purple handles or something that's very trendy. So you need to save up for it. replacing the washing machine or the dishwasher or the clothes dryer or the television or the vacuum cleaner. Now, back in the olden days, things used to last a long time. When we first got married, we were given a washing machine, and when we were given it, when it was given to us, it was already about 35 years old. Brilliant washing machine. Absolutely loved it. And we had it for about 15 or 16 years. And yes, it did break down, but Wayne was able to fix it because it was so old, it was just mechanical. So you just replaced the bits. Eventually, it became so old, he couldn't do that anymore, and we had to replace it with a newer washing machine. Trust me when I say they don't last like that anymore. They're not built to do it. The spare parts aren't necessarily readily available, and if they are not necessarily budget friendly. Often you will find it is cheaper to scrap it and buy a new appliance, which is a bit of a shame, but that happens. Think about all these things. If you have a washing machine and it's already 5 years old, plan to have to replace it in the next 5 years. That sort of thing. If you have that information, just jot it down, and if you can remember how much you paid for each of them, jot that down too. So while you're thinking and jotting, make a list of all the other regular, irregular expenses you've had in the last year. We've had a few in the last year, haven't we? All of us have had some. That the things that weren't covered in your spending plan, unexpected trips, we should be so lucky. Unexpected school expenses, unexpected birthdays, Christmas. Yeah, I know there's some people that don't plan for Christmas, and it happens same time every year. Crafts and hobbies and things like that. They're sort of regular, irregular expenses. Then take your list. Our neighbours are barbecuing and we can smell it. So if you hear growling, it's probably our tummies. Take your list and work out how much you need to add to the peace of mind account each week or fortnight or month, however you get paid, to be able to cover those expenses when they crop up. For example, we'll work on a fridge because we've just bought a fridge. Your new fridge costs $1,200. You've got a 2-year warranty on it. So hopefully, touch wood, you won't need to replace it for at least 2 years. Now, to be able to replace the fridge when that 2 years is up, in case something goes wrong with it, you need to save $600 a year. That's $11.50 a week to your peace of mind account to be able to replace your fridge in 2 years. If you want to replace it in 4 years, or actually in 6 years, so 4 years after the warranty's up, that will be around $6 a week. It's probably $5.75 a week, I think. If school camps last year cost $478 that you weren't expecting to pay, and they're going to come up, next year you're going to have to add $9.20 to the account each week to cover the cost of those camps. See how I'm working it out? It's quite simple. It's really easy. Once you do that, when it's time to replace the fridge, you've got the money. When the school camps come up, you've got the money. Now, it is essential that you track what's going in and out of this account and keep a record of it so that you'll know if you have the money to cover an irregular expense when it crops up. Because this is an account you're supposed to use. When the fridge needs to be replaced, that's where you go to get the money. When the school camps come, that's where you go to get the money. Look, I just use an exercise book with one item to a page. I can probably show you if I think I can. I'm trying to be a bit nifty here, but I think I can show you. Let me see, folks, how we can do this. Let me see. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, no. I thought I had it here so I could show it to you. Anyway, it's over on our website. You'll be able to see it on our website. It's just type in Peace of Mind account in the search on the Cheapskates Club website. It'll come up. It's just an exercise book, ruled up in columns. So each expense, in my book, each expense has its own page, and the page is ruled into columns. We've got the date, the transaction, the deposit, the withdrawal, and a balance. Pretty much basic bookkeeping. It's easy to do. And that's so I can keep a record of how much I've put in, and if I take it out, what I took it out for, and the date, how much it was, and what's left in it. Because as soon as I buy that new fridge, I'm going to start saving for the next one. Just like, when you buy your new car, you start saving straight away for the next one. Now, once you've set up your Peace of Mind account, you treat it just like you would any other bill. You know how much you need to be adding to it each pay period, so you must make the regular deposits into it for it to work. Otherwise it's pointless. The other thing you'll need to decide is limits for some of the items. For example, the new fridge. Okay, if you decided you're going to spend $1,200 on it, when you reach that limit, you can stop making deposits into that account until next year. Now, what I would do is use that money then to boost your emergency fund, but then next year you'll just add 10% to that account so that you can keep up with inflation. And 10% is a nice round figure. That's not necessarily how much inflation is. It's not necessarily how much a price increase would be, but it's a nice round figure, and it pretty much covers most things. So you've got your $1,200 saved up. The next year you're going to add $120 to it. Easy. The other thing to remember is this isn't a savings account or an emergency fund. It is a spending account. The money in this account is meant to be spent. It's really nice to see it adding up and see the money piling up there. But the money in this account is to be used to cover those regular, irregular bills, so you have peace of mind. I'll say it again. The money in this account is to be used to cover those regular, irregular bills, so you have peace of mind. Now, if you don't already have a Peace of Mind account, start one. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just do it right now. We all have those regular, irregular expenses, and especially if you have children. Start putting away the money you'll need to paint the house in 5 years, or to replace the dishwasher in 2 years, or pay for the braces. I'll keep going back to those braces for Junior's teeth. As cheapskaters, we need to become smart about saving for expenses. And once we do that, we won't ever have to resort to credit again. We will just be paying cash for everything because we've been smart, we've saved up, we've planned. We have a Peace of Mind account, and we have peace of mind. There we go. Now, I can't see the questions if there are any. Hang on, let me see if I can do this. All right. Gosh. It's not difficult, folks. Don't overcomplicate it. But yes, you do need to have as part of your budget those regular, irregular expenses. We all have them. We all need to pay for them. So we all need to plan for them in our budget. Okay, now, do we have questions, Hen? Did you find questions?
There's some.
There's some in here. Let me see. We got... Oh, thank you, Julie. Earlier today, folks, we had a little test run on the new software and actually putting the show through our website. and it seemed to work okay. I wasn't too traumatized by it. Okay, I'm looking for questions. Estelle, yeah, annual expenses variable, same sort of thing. Some people call them sinking funds. Some people call them, it's gone, whatever. I call it a peace of mind account because it gives me peace of mind. I know that, my washing machine's making funny noises and it's starting to put holes in the clothes. I don't know how, I don't know why. So that means I'm going to have to replace the washing machine. But I know it's not going to be a drama because we have the money put aside. It's in the peace of mind account. All right, now, and Jules is back. Hello, Jules. Glad you're back. Hello, Maureen. Everyone's here. And Catherine. Oh, goodness, lots of people tonight. Emergency vet bills. We should have, if you have pets in your regular budget spending plan, you should have a category for them that would be cost of their food, the cost of their vaccinations, grooming if you have them groomed, that sort of thing, because they're regular things that happen all the time. But then there's the unexpected, they eat an off mouse or something out in the garden and get sick. You've got to take them. Hannah's screwed up her face. Sorry, darling. You've got to take them to the vet, and that's an unexpected but sort of expected bill because it does come up. So, yes, you would put some money aside for it. Insurance excess. There are so many irregular possible expenses. How do I choose which one to save for? Okay. Well, you know which ones to save for. You know that you're going to have to eventually replace appliances, so you start saving for those. You know that you're going to eventually have to replace your car, so you save up for that. It's not saving for an annual holiday. It's not saving for new clothes or something. It's those really irregular things that crop up. Now, I've used the appliances and I've used orthodontist because that was one that caught us out. We thought we were going to have a massive orthodontist bill, and in the end it didn't happen, but I started saving for it because it was going to be a monster of a bill. So we had to start saving for it. Otherwise, it would just never have happened. As it turned out, we didn't end up with that bill, so we had that money to put in to boost our emergency fund. Right. Yeah. Don't make it complicated, Jules. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Budgets don't work for most people because they overthink them. They make them too hard. They make them too complicated. They make them too detailed. Don't overthink it. Don't make it difficult for yourself. So if you've got a fridge, a washing machine, a dishwasher, a vacuum cleaner, what other freezer, a car, those are things that got the money when it happens. You can just go and buy it. Now, I have a 2-part medical budget for the humans. Would be similar to pets if I had any. One part of my medical budget covers my regular physio. The other is for the unexpected. Yep. Okay. No, share screen won't work because I didn't upload it, Kathleen. I thought I had, which is a bit of a shame because it was sort of really nifty. It's over on the website anyway. It's a really little, yeah, no, I didn't upload it. Never mind. It's on the website. You can just, it's just a simple table on a page in a book that I use. For us now, it's mostly things. Now we've just done the kitchen, so we'll start saving for the next kitchen. Then when it's time to be done, the money will be there for it to be done. I won't be stressing out about having to do it. And yes, it might take 20 or 25 years to save up for it, but it's done and we'll do it. Okay. Don't overcomplicate it. Lots of people get confused because they think, because I say it's your peace of mind account should be a part of your budget, and it should be because you're saving for it. It's not a part that you access every week, every month, every year even. It's for those regular but irregular expenses. So the new car, the new white goods, the getting the teeth fixed or whatever. That's what you save up for. Yeah, okay. So any more questions? Am I missing some? Am I getting some? No? Nope. All righty. Well, in that case, that was really short and sweet. Thank you very much. It's really easy. Don't overcomplicate it. Think about it. You can come back and rewatch this and listen to it all over again if you like. If you go to the website and type in peace of mind account, you'll find lots of different things come up that you'll be able to access to understand it. If you've got questions, ask them and I'll do my best to answer them. You can either put them in the comments below or use the contact us form on the website to let me know you have a question, or ask the question in the forum. I will do my best to get back to you. Right. I see that in sure it's more for them. It is. This is Estelle. This is for, yeah, not things you're going to replace this year. Things that will be replaced in 2, 3, 5, 6, 10 years down the track, maybe 15 years down the track. But you do need to save up for them, because otherwise, how many people think to save up for their new kitchen all the time? So they're only saving a small amount. They might wait till 2 or 3 years before they decide they want it or before they're able to get it. And then they have to save a lot of money in a short period of time. It's much easier to save a little bit over a longer period of time and not worry about it than trying to find $20 or $25 or $30,000 to spend on something in 2 or 3 years. You know, budgeting is an ongoing thing. It's something we have to do all the time. It's not set in concrete, because our budgets change, because our expenses change and our lifestyle changes and our income changes. But it should still be a regular part of our lives, something that we do all the time, and it becomes a habit. And honestly, in 2021, it is easier than ever to budget, because you can work out your expenses, move them into a working account, have all the bills come out of that account, and you don't even have to think about it. It just happens. It's just working out how much you need to put into that account. That's the tricky bit, and that shouldn't take you more than an hour at the most. If it takes more than that, then you're making it too hard. Budgeting isn't hard. Okay. Eventual expenses. Yep. Yes, Kathleen. They will happen eventually. Yeah. Okay, Estelle wants to know how to calculate maintenance costs, stove, oven repairs, and so on. Okay. Car repairs. All right. With your stove and your oven, you shouldn't have to do a lot of, or you shouldn't have to pay for a lot of maintenance for it. I think I've had, in the 15 years, 16 years we've been here, I've had the man out to fix the oven twice. But that was because the fan kept dying on me. So it was, I don't know, it was $300 all up. So that's into 15. I was at, I don't know how much that is. My head can't do it, but it's not much a year. You shouldn't have to spend a lot on those sorts of repairs because they're not things that break down a lot. Your washing machine might though. Particularly if it's older, it might. So you need to find out how much a service call is, how much a new pump is, how much new hoses are, new belts, and calculate it on that. For your car maintenance, well, in our car maintenance thing, we include a battery every 2 years. We don't change the battery every 2 years, but we budget for it. Services. And we get our cars serviced fairly often, usually twice a year for mine, and the Patrol gets done. It gets a major service once a year at the mechanics, and then Wayne does the little ones. So we budget those in, and that's every 5,000 kilometres for the Patrol. Tyres. So again, we work on a set of tyres for our car, for my car anyway, every 2 years. That's pretty much about it. And we just work out roughly what we've spent, how much we need to put into it, and work on it like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, Jules. Every few years expenses. Yep. Because you don't buy, well, most people don't buy a new washing machine or a new fridge or a new car every year or whatever. They're things that you keep for a long time. New lounge, something that you keep for a long time. So they're not annual expenses or whatever. They're every few years. Cars are variable, but you must be able to go back on what you spent in the last 2 years, so that you have a rough idea of what you've spent. Add 10%, and then you've got it. Most appliances, if you speak to a serviceman, if you get 5 years out of an appliance these days, you're doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really well if you get 5 years out of an appliance. They'll give you 2 years on the warranty, and then 3 years, then you're expected to need to replace it. So if you want to go on the 5-year plan, work on the 5-year plan. I'm inclined to think that I would get more out of my appliances, but we look after our things. I clean the washing machine every month. I clean the dishwasher every month. I keep our fridge and freezers clean and dust free and whatever. We look after them, so we get a bit longer out of them. So you haven't serviced your car since you bought it 3 years ago. Surely you've changed the oil. And 3 years you'd be due for brakes, probably. Depends how well, no, I was going to say it depends how often you drive it. But actually, if you drive it more often, you'll get more out of it. Leaving cars to sit in the driveway is not good. The tyres won't last, the battery won't last, the oil and the petrol will go irky because petrol goes off, oil goes off. So you actually do need to be driving your car to get the most out of it. But if you haven't serviced it for 3 years, I'm surprised it's still running as well as it is. So even an oil change will help. Okay. Alrighty, I am going to go because this is my second show for today and I'm a bit talked out. But I think like Jules said, every few years expenses, cover them. If you're worried that you're not going to be able to build up in your peace of mind account and build an emergency fund, I would work on your emergency fund first, get it to a month of living expenses, and then slowly. Because saving is work and it's slow. Unless you were the Queenslander that won was it 50 million in lotto last week? One person. We all have to save up. Okay. Oh, thank you, Julie. Okay. All right, guys. I will see you next Tuesday back here on YouTube. And hopefully then we'll be able to announce when you'll be able to view us on other places too. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and keep cheapskating. Good night.